Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. But hit that like button for me right now because that helps my channel out tremendously and gets more people to view the video. Today's video is going to take a look at the possibility that Madeline Soto did not spend the night at Jen's condo the night of the birthday party. So Jennifer Soto, the girl who's been killed, likely by Stephen Stearns, had a birthday on February 22nd. The birthday party for that birthday was on February 25th on a Sunday. The next day she was to go to school. The birthday party was right over here at the grandmother's house of Yolanda Zambrano. That's where the birthday party was. And you can see it's very close to the school. In fact, it is only 1.17 miles as a crow flies to the school. So probably like 2 miles because you have to drive this way and over here, but very close. And let's just do a quick recap of the case. Stephen Stearns is somebody that's been a boyfriend of Jennifer Soto, the mother of Madeline Soto, for somewhere around 8 years or so, according to some of the friends that I've interviewed on the channel. I've done 4 interviews with friends, and if you haven't heard those, you should go check them out. And they all lived right here in this apartment. Now, when I say they all lived, it appears that Jennifer and her daughter Madeline lived in these apartments. I guess they're actually condominiums, the Venetian Bay Village condominiums here. And Stephen Stearns used to live there, but apparently a month ago moved out. But he was back in town for Jennifer's birthday, her 13th birthday. Now, does that 13th birthday have a significance? We don't know, but it might to Stephen Stearns. And apparently after the party, she returned home, according to Jennifer, in one of the interviews that she did after Madeline went missing. So Madeline Soto's body was found on March 2nd, on a Friday, right here off of Hickory Tree Road. And an individual online reported that they saw a vehicle pulled over that matched Stephen Stearns' vehicle, and it was right in this area facing this direction, north. And it was next to this boxcar right here. And after they determined where that location was, they went out there and they searched around, and eventually they found her body right here in these hedges. Looks like they're made of bamboo hedges, that's what it seemed like, right next to the road. So information came out later by the investigators in a document that at 7:35 in the morning, Stephen Stearns at the apartment, let's get back to the apartment here, right here, at 7:35, he put the laptop and the backpack of Madeline in the dumpster. Now, I believe it's this dumpster right here, as I can find no other dumpsters in this complex here. So he's putting items in the dumpster at 7:35. Is it possible that he merely went back to the apartment to get her laptop and her backpack to put in the dumpster to make it look like she did go to school? How do we know that Madeline Soto made it home to her mother's house after the birthday party? We don't have any information on it. Did she stay overnight where she had the birthday? It's only a couple miles from where the school is. Where was Stephen Stearns staying? Because according to both of them, if we open up this court document here, you can see right here, the mother said she advised her daughter's stepfather, Stephen Stearns, picked her up from home. Now, you might look at that and go, I mean, this could just be a clerical error, perhaps, that he didn't pick her up. He actually drove her to school, and that was just the terminology. I mean, Jennifer Soto is a little bit clumsy with their wording, saying we did this and we did that when it was just Stephen Stearns. But what also gives validity to it is that was the interview with Jennifer. They also interviewed Stephen Stearns, who they called the stepfather, but doesn't seem like he's ever been a father to her. He advised he picked the victim up and dropped her off in front of Peace United Methodist Preschool. Well, that's interesting, right? That means they both are saying that he went to pick her up. And then we also know that Jennifer Soto says that Madeline made it home and discussed the presents with us, the presents she got. So is that with Madeline and Stefan? Is that the us that she's talking about? Let's listen to some of the comments she made in the interviews she did.
We had dropped her off close to the school. Monday morning, we took her to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school walked.
So even just right there, it's like we, and then my boyfriend. She does say her boyfriend took her to school in, I believe, both interviews, but she does clarify that. But you wonder why she said we to begin with. I know people do use the general we because they're like a team. But was it something that Stefan Stearns told her to say? My theory in this case is that Stefan Stearns picked Jennifer Soto because she had a small child, and he thought he could manipulate Jennifer Soto because of his interactions with her. And they were together for many, many years that Madeline Soto was alive. And so Jennifer likely trusted him. And I believe Stefan Stearns controlled Madeline Soto by perhaps saying, not to tell your mother about certain things, giving her different gifts, and, trying to guilt her into not saying something, or making it seem like it's okay to be doing what they're doing, but just don't tell the mom, etc. And I think Jennifer actually trusted Stefan Stearns. So when this event occurred, she was willing to help Stefan Stearns out in his story because she didn't think Stefan killed Madeline. Once Jennifer says that Stefan took her to school, we know that the story she's telling is not from her own memory. It's something she was told to say, or the story was told to her by Stefan Stearns. The first time that we break out of that, however, is when she says that Madeline was getting ready for school at 8 in the morning, and she saw her getting ready at 8. I always thought there was something special about the 8 a.m. sighting of Madeline getting ready for school in the morning. If that information was planted by Stefan Stearns, which it had to have been, unless you believe that Jennifer's just making it up for the hell of it, to me it seems like Stefan Stearns is controlling the situation and having her say certain things to help his story out, and she's willing to because she cares about him. The 8 a.m. sighting is odd to me because what relevance would that have had in the story? It's almost as if he wanted to prove that Madeline was at Jennifer's condo that morning, way before she was supposed to go to school. And I find that very interesting. We know that she's not telling the truth, that she saw her getting ready at 8. We also have information that at 8:19 he's driving back with her, and 8:10 he's seen on a license plate reader heading back down from the school area. So what's interesting about that is there's a license plate reader right here on West Donegan Avenue and John Young Parkway. There's also another license plate reader way up here, but I think this is the one that they were talking about from right there. And then driving around based on lights or whatever, he gets back to the apartment at 8:19. Now also that time in the morning, the traffic's probably not really great, so it's probably a lot slower to get from here to there during that time of day. But he pulls into the complex, and police believe that he has Madeline Soto in the vehicle. They can see her, and she apparently isn't alive. So is he just now bringing her back from wherever she was prior? Is it possible that Madeline stayed with Stefan that night, and then he drives back early in the morning to get her backpack and laptop to put it into the garbage? He may have even came to the house and said, hey, she's in the car. I just need to quickly grab the backpack and laptop, okay? I got to give it to her. She forgot to bring those. So he goes into the house, grabs those, and then he puts them in the dumpster because she isn't going to be going to school because she's not alive at this point. And then perhaps he takes off and then he drives her around in the vehicle to make it look like she is in the car and he's driving to school. That's probably why he said she was sleeping on the way to school, because he wants her to be seen on various cameras. But then he pulls back into the apartment complex, which is strange, and she's still visible at 8:19. So none of the information regards to timing is accurate by Jennifer or Stephen Stearns. And, again, it's interesting to see that they both said that he picked her up. That means he was elsewhere. So when they were talking about when she came home, she looked at presents. Well, let's take a listen to that portion right now. I think it's just after this part right here.
We drove away at that point. It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few minutes and then got up and walked towards the school. Around 9 a.m. when she got up, she never made it to school.
So 9 a.m. she got up? I thought you saw her getting ready for school at 8. So she said the 8 o'clock comment right after the report of Madeline going missing. She said that at 8 in the morning she was getting ready. This comment here is days later on a television interview saying she left at 9. It could just be that she's really careless with words, etc. But I also believe that the 8 o'clock comment is not true at all. And perhaps the original story told by Stephen Stearns to Jennifer was that he dropped her off around 8:45 to 9 o'clock. And so that's what she's kind of remembering here, but then was told to say 8 o'clock in the morning she saw her getting ready for school in another comment. So it's pretty interesting, the different timing. I guess she's only referring to her getting ready for school at 8, and then she left at 9. But that can't be true either, because at 8:19 he's driving back with her lifeless body in his vehicle.
School after that. On Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family, and she had the best day.
Yeah, so on Sunday she's over at the birthday party. There's multiple people in there. I don't know if we actually know for certain if Stephen Stearns was there. I think he was likely there.
She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So
right then you might question, okay, when she went to bed, well, she showed us the gifts. Was that over the phone, or you're saying when she went to bed? That could have been over where Stephen Stearns is.
She had the best day. I just, there was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop.
So right there, she says when she got home from the party. That means she got to her house. However, is this part of her story made up too? It seems like she's delivering it more naturally when she's remembering what Stephen Stearns told her to say. She pauses, kind of looks up in the air like she's thinking about what to say because it's not her own memory. She says this pretty clearly, so it seems like it's more likely that Madeline made it home, but we cannot be sure that she made it home because of the way Jennifer speaks and how she's put in elements of the story that aren't true. It makes sense that Stephen Stearns perhaps had Madeline somewhere else and then said, yeah, I'll take her to school in the morning. And then in the morning, he drives over to the apartment complex and gets the laptop and backpack and puts it in the garbage can, but doesn't wake up Jennifer, because he could just say, well, you were sleeping, so I got in and got her notebook and backpack. He could even claim that she went in and got the notebook and backpack, referring to Madeline. And then he takes off, he collects Madeline, puts her in the vehicle, and then does some sort of, it's hard to say, but like a Weekend at Bernie's type of situation where she's propped up in the vehicle, driving around to make it look like she's alive and doing various things. What doesn't make sense is when he comes back to the apartment complex and she's still able to be seen. Perhaps it's a camera that was looking down and could see right in the vehicle, and she's in the back seat laying down, and they believe she isn't alive at that point. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think it's possible that Madeline Soto never made it home after the birthday party? There's been many times in this case that I've wondered about this very thing, but I'm more like 70% that she made it home and 30% that she didn't make it home. And this is all stuff that Stephen Stearns had Jennifer say because he was the, quote, responsible person. She came home from work late. He was the one that went to the party. And, she's staying over and hanging out with him. And she just goes home and goes to sleep. And maybe there was a cell phone conversation. Hey, yeah, the presents were great. Yeah. Okay, what? Can you take her to school tomorrow? And he might have said, yeah, I'll pick up the backpack and laptop too. And the night ends. And Madeline gets killed in the night. And then Stephen Stearns drives over, gets the laptop and backpack, doesn't wake her up, and says, yeah, she's in the car. I gotta get her laptop and backpack. But it was so early in the morning, so it feels like he snuck in there and would have got those items and put them in the garbage. Now, if he was staying there overnight, why did both of them tell the story that he picked up Madeline? Can anybody explain that to me? That's pretty weird. So if he's picking her up, that means he drove over there somehow. I mean, it's weird. Did he go there in the middle of the night and kill Madeline and then drive back home and then come over in the morning again to get the laptop and backpack? This case is really crazy on the timing. I wish we had a lot more information. I'm sure they have all of the different camera shots of his vehicle driving around and moving around. There's just so many angles here. So I think we should talk about this tonight. Why don't people call into the show and we can try to work through this and figure this element out. It's absolutely wild to me. All right, everybody. If you could leave a comment in the comment section, that'd be great. Hit that like button only once. And thank you all very much for watching, but I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. And, as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.